Across time, entire civilizations have risen to greatness, only to vanish without a single goodbye. Cities filled with art, temples, and trade routes suddenly went silent, leaving behind ruins and riddles carved in stone. What could erase an entire society overnight? Was it war, nature, or something far more mysterious? Today, we uncover the stories of the top 10 lost civilizations that vanished overnight, echoes of humanity's forgotten past. Number 10. The Maya Civilization. Deep in the jungles of Central America once thrived one of the world's most advanced ancient societies, the Maya. They built towering pyramids, mastered astronomy, and created a complex calendar that still fascinates scientists today. Their cities, stretching across Mexico, Guatemala, and Belize, were home to millions. But around the 9th century, something unthinkable happened. One by one, their great cities were abandoned. No one knows exactly why. Some historians point to droughts that destroyed crops. Others believe internal wars tore their empire apart. A few even suspect diseases brought by trade or religious shifts that led people to flee sacred cities. The jungle reclaimed what was left, burying stone temples beneath thick green canopies. When European explorers arrived centuries later, they found only silence, temples wrapped in vines, and whispers of a lost people. Even today, the descendants of the Maya live in small villages across Central America, still speaking the ancient language of their ancestors. But the reason their mighty civilization collapsed remains one of archaeology's most haunting mysteries. Number 9. Nabta Playa. Long before the pyramids of Egypt rose, another group of people built a mysterious circle of stones deep in the Sahara Desert. Known as Nabta Playa, this ancient settlement existed over 9,000 years ago, making it one of the oldest known astronomical sites on Earth. The people here were skilled farmers and herders who managed to survive the desert's harsh climate. Archaeologists believe these early settlers used the stone circles to study the stars, marking the movement of the sun and the coming of the rainy season. In a sense, Nabta Playa might have been one of the world's first observatories. But then, without warning, the people vanished. No records, no signs of struggle. Only abandoned stone monuments scattered across the desert sands. As the climate changed and water disappeared, the land turned to dust, forcing its people to leave in search of life elsewhere. What remains today is a silent monument to humanity's earliest understanding of the universe, half buried in the shifting dunes of Egypt. Number 8. Çatalhöyük. Hidden in the heart of modern-day Turkey lies Çatalhöyük, one of the world's first true cities. Dating back to around 7,500 BC, this place looked nothing like modern cities. There were no streets or alleyways. Instead, people built their homes so close together that they walked across the rooftops to move from place to place. Ladders led down through holes in the ceilings into rooms decorated with murals and animal skulls. It was a peaceful community where men and women shared equal roles. People farmed, painted, cooked, and even buried their loved ones beneath their homes. But around 5,700 BC, this vibrant settlement was suddenly abandoned. No one knows why. Some think a changing climate dried up food supplies. Others believe disease spread through the close-packed homes. Whatever the cause, Çatalhöyük was left behind, swallowed by layers of soil and time. When it was rediscovered thousands of years later, it offered a rare window into how human civilization first began, and how easily it can end. Number 7. Derinkuyu. Beneath the dusty plains of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies a city hidden underground. Derinkuyu is a maze of tunnels and rooms carved from soft volcanic rock, deep enough to shelter more than 20,000 people and their animals. Entire neighborhoods existed below the surface, complete with kitchens, wells, and even ventilation shafts. Historians believe this vast underground city was used as a refuge, possibly from invading armies or harsh weather. People could seal the stone door shut and live safely below for months. Yet, like so many others, the inhabitants of Derinkuyu disappeared. By the early 1900s, the tunnels had been forgotten. Then, in 1963, a local man discovered the entrance while renovating his house. What he uncovered was a lost world, perfectly preserved beneath his feet. The question remains, who built it, and what forced them to vanish into the shadows of history? Number 6. Rapa Nui, Easter Island. Far out in the Pacific Ocean lies one of the most isolated places on Earth, Easter Island, or as its original people called it, Rapa Nui. The island is famous for its enormous stone statues known as moai, each standing like a silent guardian staring out to sea. These statues were carved centuries ago by a skilled and deeply spiritual Polynesian people who somehow managed to sail thousands of miles across open ocean to settle here. For centuries, centuries, the Rapa Nui thrived. They built a rich culture, developed farming, and created these monumental statues that honored their ancestors. But when European explorers reached the island in the 1700s, the civilization had collapsed. Trees were gone, crops failed, and the population had dropped to only a few thousand. Most researchers believe the islanders overused their natural resources, cutting down too many trees to move their statues, build canoes, and farm. Once the land was stripped bare, food and shelter became scarce. Others think that outside contact brought disease and conflict. Either way, this once thriving culture disappeared almost overnight, leaving behind the haunting faces of the Moai as the last witnesses to a great tragedy. Number 5. The Anasazi, ancestral Puebloans. In the dry canyons of the American Southwest, you can still see homes built into towering cliffs. Massive stone dwellings with hundreds of rooms and narrow windows. These were the homes of the Anasazi, now known as the ancestral Puebloans, who lived in areas of Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico over 1,000 years ago. They built incredible cities like Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon, complete with towers, roads, and ceremonial rooms. Yet sometime in the 1200s, these people simply vanished. The cliff dwellings were left empty, tools abandoned, fires cold. Many historians believe years of drought destroyed their crops, forcing the people to leave in search of new lands. Others suggest war or famine caused entire communities to scatter. Some Native American tribes say the ancestral Puebloans didn't disappear at all. They just migrated and became part of other tribes that exist today. Whatever the truth, the silence of those stone dwellings still feels alive, as if the walls remember the lives once lived within them. Number 4. The Minoan civilization. Long before ancient Greece reached its golden age, the island of Crete was home to the Minoans, a powerful Bronze Age civilization that flourished from around 3000 to 1000 BC. They built grand palaces like Knossos, with colorful frescoes, complex plumbing, and sprawling courtyards. Their ships sailed across the Mediterranean, trading goods and ideas with Egypt and the Near East. The Minoans were artists, engineers, and dreamers. But one day, their world ended. Around 1600 BC, a massive volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, modern-day Santorini, sent waves of ash and tsunamis crashing across the region. The destruction may have crippled their economy and food supply. Some believe disease or invasions finished what nature began. Others think the people fled, blending into nearby cultures. Whatever the reason, the Minoans disappeared, and their story became the foundation for legends like Atlantis, a once great world swallowed by disaster. Number 3. The Khmer Empire. In the heart of Southeast Asia rose a civilization so grand that its capital city, Angkor, was larger than modern-day New York. The Khmer Empire, which ruled from the 9th to the 15th century, built magnificent temples like Angkor Wat, still the largest religious monument in the world. The Khmer were master builders and engineers, creating complex irrigation systems that allowed them to farm vast lands even during dry seasons. But in the 1400s, this mighty empire fell apart. The cities were abandoned, and the jungle crept back in. Historians believe a combination of drought, war, and shifting trade routes caused the collapse. Others say the growing Thai kingdoms to the west slowly overtook their power. By the time explorers rediscovered Angkor centuries later, the temples were engulfed in vines, as if nature had quietly taken back what humans once claimed. Today, Angkor Wat stands as both a wonder and a warning, a reminder that no empire, no matter how powerful, is eternal. Number 2. The Olmec civilization. Before the Aztecs and the Mayans, another mysterious civilization ruled the jungles of southern Mexico, the Olmecs. They were the first great culture of Mesoamerica, flourishing between 1200 and 400 BC. The Olmecs built massive pyramid-like temples and carved enormous stone heads, each weighing up to 40,000 pounds. These giant sculptures, with their lifelike expressions and detailed helmets, still amaze archaeologists today. The Olmecs were farmers, artists, and religious builders who laid the foundations for later civilizations in Central America. They developed early writing systems, calendars, and rituals that influenced every culture that followed. But around 400 BC, the Olmecs disappeared. Their cities were left empty, their temples silent. Theories range from natural disasters disasters like floods or volcanic eruptions to shifts in trade routes or internal unrest. No one knows for sure. Even their real name is lost. The word Olmec was given to them centuries later by the Aztecs, meaning rubber people. All that remains are their giant heads staring into eternity, as if guarding the secrets of a world erased by time. Number 1. The lost colony of Roanoke. In 1587, more than 100 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island, off the coast of present-day North Carolina. 3 years later, supply ships returned to find the colony completely empty. Houses stood abandoned, tools untouched, and the only clue was a single word carved into a post: Croatoan. No bodies were found, no signs of battle. The people had simply vanished. Even after centuries, no one knows what happened, whether they joined a local tribe, fled inland, or met a darker fate. History remembers them as the colony that vanished overnight, leaving behind one haunting question: how does an entire civilization just disappear? Our world is built on the ruins of those who came before. Each lost civilization reminds us how fragile human greatness can be. Which of these mysteries fascinates you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories hidden beneath the sands of time.